There's a couple ways to think about exercise. When I was younger and I had a lot more energy, I had this conversation with my father. Is exercise perpetual, or are we a battery? Like, if we do too much at one time, are we going to run out of gas later? And I really fought that. I said exercise is perpetual, and the more you do, the more energy you have, and therefore the longer you're going to live and the healthier you're going to live. Well, now I'm thinking that we're a battery. And that, I was talking to Kiefer the other day, and he said that we only have something like 2 billion heartbeats and we're gone. That's a pretty round average. So actually the battery theory is true. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit today. When you hear a lot of the speakers talk here, we talk about diet and we talk about sleep and we talk about exercise. But exercise is always this general term, just exercise. And there's a lot of different ways to exercise, and there's different prescriptions for different people. And one of my goals is to take everything that you've learned here today, things about diet, things about sleep, and things about functional wellness, and bringing them together into one big piece so that you can optimize your health. And so what I'm going to do today is talk a little bit about that. It's going to be a little bit of an informed consent talk. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to be a curmudgeon. But what I do want you to do is make an informed choice. And that means that if you're exercising really hard right now, we don't have much more than experience to tell us what's going to happen in the future, but I can tell you what happened in my experience, and I can tell you for sure that being an athlete is not a certificate of health. Because I was an Olympic athlete, and because I did CrossFit and I did weightlifting and all these things, it did not make me healthier today. And I'm going to talk to you a bit about if I went backwards, maybe some of the choices I might have made, or maybe had a different attitude. And if I had guidance, or if I had myself to talk back on, what I would say. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I just want you to start thinking critically about your exercise, how much you're doing, and what it means to you in the big picture. I think if you're a trainer, you need to ask yourself, where am I taking my clients in 10 years, in 20 years, and in 30 years? Because if you cannot guarantee that they're going to be, or not, shouldn't say guarantee, but if you can't be very sure that you're not taking them to a good place in 30 years, you have to really question what you're doing today. And whether that's too much, too heavy, taking them into movements that they're not qualified to do, you have to consider that big picture.